Tomazzi Entertainment showcasing Edmonton's exciting new bands, interviewing musicians and finding out what makes them tick. Edmonton, behind the mic. Welcome to a new episode of Behind the Mic. Normally, Dylan interviews bands from the great city of Edmonton, but he wanted to expand to other cities and countries. So that brings us to the UK to meet the lead singer of Smilex and solo artist Lee Christian. He talks about becoming a musician, the newest Hollywood scandal, and hear two new songs from his upcoming album, Vocation. All this and more in UK Behind the Mic.
Hello, I'd like to thank you very much for this interview. What is your name?
My name's Lee Christian.
You have a band. What's the name of your band?
I have a couple of bands. I have a band called Smilex. We are a rock band. And I have a I guess it's a funk ensemble, but it's kind of broader than that, and that's called the Prohibition Smokers Club.
Remember what we like.
And I do a couple of other projects. I'm in an electronic thing with my brother called Shadow 69. I have a kind of slightly defunct duo called Boy with a Toy with another guy. We do electro, funky kind of stuff. And I do a couple of other projects, and I do my own solo stuff as well.
Wow, man, you've been busy. Holy moly. Okay. Let's talk about Smilex. Do you have any albums out?
Smilex, yeah, we've got two full albums out, which are called Seven and La Fête More. And you can pretty much Google Smilex and they should hopefully come up. And we've got like a load of EPs and singles and stuff like that as well. But yeah, there's all worth, I'm pretty proud of.
Your latest album from Smilex, if that album told a story, what would it tell?
The last one, so both albums are fairly conceptual. The first one is really conceptual, which is Seven. That's taking the 7 deadly sins and kind of analysing them and kind of, I guess, reframing them for the modern, this century and the modern world and everything. Kind of looking at them, what they would be, if you analyse that, really, what they would be these days, and in my brain anyway. So, and that's kind of heavily conceptual. All the artwork is very much tied in with each song being a sin and all this kind of business. Second album, because their first one's quite so heavily conceptual, I think the second one's kind of more vaguely conceptual. It's kind of charts a vague journey. It's a lot about relationships and not just love relationships, but personal relationships of all sorts and creative relationships.
I lost my time with a wasted youth, time with a wasted youth, time with a wasted youth, time with a wasted
So what inspired you to get into music in the first place?
Okay, so I always liked music, as in I was always really into it and interested in it. I think the first thing that got me into music itself was Prince, probably. Like about 1984, Purple Rain, kind of that Let's Go Crazy. Just by the end of that guitar solo, at the end of that, it was like, yeah, like this guy's the stuff. Do you know what I mean?
You're sold. You're sold on it.
Yeah, totally. And like, because you even as a kid, you can see, like greatness. You can kind of see greatness even as a kid, like Muhammad Ali, Pele, Bruce Lee, Jimi Hendrix, and Prince. For me, was just obvious that when you're supposed to be the ultimate musician who can do like everything amazingly all the time, and so much more than anybody else can even do of it, like that's the picture of what that looks like. And music should kind of just have Prince's picture next in the dictionary. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay. Yep.
Probably like that, but And so I used to set up my like little stereo speakers before I was even 10, like the speakers that came with your cassette Walkman, and I used to pretend they were stacks, and like I set up my G.I. Joe and Star Wars and everything as band members, and they played like little gigs playing through probably I would say probably Sign the Times album and Parade album and stuff like that. Later on, my little brothers used to do this thing. I used to record them on tapes and play instrumentals out of my music technical kind of recording and stuff in the most primitive way, but like really just only as fun stuff. And I had a guitar when I was 15, 16, but I couldn't do anything on it. I had a little keyboard, couldn't do anything on it. That was when all the indie scene in England kind of burst up again, like Blur and Pulp and Elastica and like slightly later Oasis. I was also into kind of gangster rap from like that, and that was a lot about kind of doing what you wanted and getting away with it as well. And so there's this unhealthy kind of, or very healthy disrespect for authority in all of it, that I kind of thought I could stick my middle finger up but still get somewhere doing it kind of thing. So I just came back to Oxford because I knew how to work that scene and how to kind of get a band going really quickly and how to get the gear, where you have to play and how to kind of move up through the thing. And that was Smilex basically. And realizing that, I could like do this, that I think was when I started to get delusions of grandeur and wanted to become a legend.
Yeah? Okay. All right. I saw a music video where you're getting your brains ripped out. What's with that about?
I guess that's just how I was feeling at the time. Maybe it's quite a hard year that year, that's quite a heavy album, and it is pretty much like what it purports to be. It's just in speaking slightly metaphorically, as I still seem to have most of my functionality, thankfully. So it's from that Dream Stealers. That song is called, and that's from the Meaning of Life ? So, which I mainly people think is quite pretentious or portentous, but actually I just called it Meaning of Life because I always thought it was quite. We always used to have jokes about naming your album something that was really like something else that got downloaded a lot, so that people would download it by accident. And obviously Monty Python Meaning of Life is like an audio, there'll be audio things of that. So I figured just by adding a question mark, if they don't clock the name, I might get some extra free, kind of business off of that. So it's nowhere near, like, I think people think I'm quite like super, and don't get me wrong, I do get depressed, but like, I think they think I'm super depressed and super pretentious, whereas most of the time I'm having a bit of a joke with myself, but no one really knows the story, do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I lost my dreams, so wildly stolen, snatched right out of my brain. The dream stealers tore my head open. I'll never ever dream again. I lost my way down a lonely road, running away from my pain.
So do you have like an actual single album just with yourself?
Oh, I've got, how many have I done now? 4? Is it 4 or 6? 6. 6 in the last 4 years, I think. So I've got one which is called A New Way, which is all electronic, kind of quite dancey kind of stuff, but with quite socio-political lyrics.
Okay.
Because I thought that nice, weird combo.
Well, don't you want to learn a new way? Don't you want to? 'Cause by the looks of it, that way you can verify.
And then I did a kind of blues meets lo-fi beats, like with a lot of stuff to do with like the devil and stuff like that, like kind of, selling your soul at the crossroads, all that kind of mythology and how that worked into kind of my life and modern life and stuff like that.
I hear that devil talking, I hear him talking in my ear. And when he's sitting on my shoulder, his voice is giving me this fear.
I did another album called The Joker, The Unlucky 13, The One That Got Away, which is kind of dark, industrial, spooky, very psychotic record, and but kind of chilled out as well, kind of trip-hoppy in a way, so, quite disturbing in that way. Did Meaning of Life, and which was kind of acoustic and more song-based and very much quite personal, very much like kind of quite current in that time when I was going through quite a lot of depressing stuff. That's all in that record, like warts and all. And then I did one called Fake News, which was a rock record that I did at the beginning of the year, which was kind of a reaction to, all the political turmoil and everything. And it's kind of like just has it's not specifically one-sided on any side, it just has a kind of like a few things to say about a few different things. And now I'm just finishing off a record called Vocation, which is an R&B and dance record, really, with other producers, and I've just done all the vocals and hooks and lyrics and everything, and just focusing on that bit, with working with loads of really cool kind of different producers that I said, oh, can I have that beat? And like, I said, yeah, sure. So it's a pretty much, it starts off fairly R&B, and then it kind of gets a bit dancier, and then it ends up quite a funky electronic record by the end of it. It's quite a long record, it's taking ages to finish, because I meant to have it out in the summer. Finally back on track and finishing stuff, so that should be out really, really soon, and it's a whopper of a record. And it's like, let's put it this way, this record, because everybody else is doing the beats, and I'm just like focusing purely on the tunes and reacting to what their beats are, it's probably the most easy thing to listen to that I've ever made, in terms of like anyone could like this, like bits of this record anyone could like, really. Like you could play some to your nan and she'd be like, oh, this is quite nice, and that yet you could play some to your like irritating little, 8-year-old kid who only likes crappy pop stuff, and they might be able to pick something out in it as well and go, oh, that's cool. Do you know what I mean? So it's a really like hope. I mean, there's no excuse if I'm not a megastar after this one. Do you know what I mean? There's just no excuse whatsoever.
Okay, so this is the one that's gonna skyrocket you.
I say that with a huge, there's a huge, it's not a grain of salt. There should be a jar of salt here that you could take that with.
Okay.
When you look into the future, baby, can you tell me what you see? Is it someplace nicer, maybe? Is it you and me? Well, these are the kind of questions that keep playing on my mind. And though I know it's fun to stay in bed, well, do we really have the time? Have you got it? So hold on, baby, hold on tightly. Don't you wanna love me nightly? Relationship goals, love worth more than gold.
On an interesting side note, the song Relationship Goals will be featured in an upcoming short film, Easy Meets by Grace Williams. Check the description to find out more.
No, I'm not even trying to be famous. Look, it looks like a rubbish job, doesn't it? You sit next to some guy who got famous on a reality TV show, and you have to talk for 3 minutes about your relationship because nobody wants to hear about your art. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like a crap job. And then you've got some rich guy who likes Phil Collins telling you that you're supposed to make your music differently because then, you'll be able to hit these other things. I got in this business to stick some middle fingers up, not to be like, oh, please, sir, might I have some more? Do you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be famous anymore. If I'd be famous, it would be as a kind of anti-famous person or something. Do you know what I mean? Celebrities suck. They're the lamest people going. Who would want to be like Kim Kardashian? Got loads of money, but my God.
Money, well, it just don't work. It's got me running round in circles like some kind of jerk, like some used up old douchebag that's packed it to burst. And funny, I don't buy happiness, but it sure don't hurt.
Day by day I'm working stone cold heartless. Sleep when I'm dead in my solid gold casket. Work so hard I'm bound to die rich, man. But right now I'm not worth more than a tin can. Is it a key to happiness or just another trap? Acting so ambitious and I'm lost on a track. Handling my business and I need another nap. Lagging in my fitness and the pain on my back. One day I'm rich, I know I have options. But in the words of Big Mo, money, mo problems. But my soul blossoms when I reach a bottle bottom. Strong with power and a pocket full of condoms. Money, 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 yeah, it doesn't grow on trees. In fact, it seems it only grows from greed. Rich get rich and my wallet's in a ditch. And my money disappears every weekend down the sink.
Money, well, it just don't work. It's got me running round in circles like some kind of jerk, like some used up old douchebag that's packed it to burst. And funny, I don't buy happiness, but it sure don't hurt. Money, well, it just don't work.
In your business, have you ever been approached to do things you feel uncomfortable with?
Don't think so. I haven't really got that famous though, being honest. So, I don't know whether it's in kind of upper echelons, and also I wasn't a child star or anything, do you know what I mean? So I did actually, as a weird little detour, I did actually go for casting for the Wonder Years when I lived in LA when I was a teenager.
Wow.
So maybe I might have ended up living a completely different lifestyle had certain things gone differently or whatever, and maybe I'd have a whole different story for you, but I don't I think it's really, really good news that this the allegations, Harvey Weinstein stuff about women and everything, and about kind of past cases, has shifted across to the subject of children, and that can get a good amount of spotlight on it, hopefully, and making sure it doesn't happen now is what's important. You think they'd be very keen for it to be completely investigated and any bad things wiped out so that Hollywood can go on with its reputation unbesmirched. You'd think Hollywood would be at pains to kind of go, no, here, look at everything, we're clean as a whistle. If we're not, take them, burn them. Do you know what I mean? Like, burn them as witnesses. Do you know what I mean? Like, and if not, then it kind of needs a whole new thing to kind of rise up, and that old system to be burnt down and never talked about again, in a way, because it's given us a load of Hollywood magic, and we don't really want that completely tainted by the thought that all of it is associated with someone's, abuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah! Get that man! Yeah! Soft, sweet, and easy on the teeth. Suppression's the key, so put your gift in the beat. So desperate to be a thing of fashion, bitch. She keeps on pouring out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in again. Do it! Do it now! Never this tripping on the tip of a tongue. Baggage got a bitch, guess it's all up for some. Robin keeps screaming, shaking, slugging, and fake it. You know it's a fake it, he's not gonna make it. Dead! Those days you feel you can't go on.
We hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know more about Lee Christian or where to find his music, check the description for the links. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching Edmonton Behind the Mic.
Feminine wiles, a wink, and a knowing smile. Hips say whiplash, lips say cash. Never get the neck ache, potential death trap.